Developing at noon, allegations prompting another call for a resignation on the corrections board. The response from that member looking to clear his name. And putting up the good fight on the election stage after repeated failed attempts to secure the vote. How one candidate is hoping to bounce back in time for Super Tuesday. Plus, a state scorched by flames, causing massive destruction. The efforts of Texas firefighters working to contain a deadly blaze. You're watching THV 11 at noon. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on this first day of March. I'm Ashley Godwin in for Journey Taylor. Plenty of headlines to get through on this Friday, so let's get you started. But first, meteorologist Scott Covert is here with us today. Scott, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. March 1st, first day of meteorological spring. Doesn't really feel like it out there today. We're a bit on the cool side. Our temperature's running a few degrees below normal. However, you might notice some changes in western Arkansas. The clouds are breaking as expected, and therefore the temperatures starting to warm up. In fact, we're at the 50s in Hot Springs, Mena, Fort Smith this afternoon. And meanwhile, the rest of us that are under cloud cover, Little Rock, Pine Bluff, Stuttgart, and Searcy, we're still in the 40s. Those clouds will continue to break, and our temperatures will eventually warm up into the upper 50s, perhaps even some low 60s where we squeeze out a bit more of that sunshine towards the west. Now, sunset this evening coming up at 6:05. We'll have a lot more of that sunshine on tap for your weekend forecast. Finally going to feel really pleasant by this weekend. But then we've got to turn our attention to next week. A pretty active weather pattern brings multiple chances of rain, maybe even some storms. The latest timeline on that coming up in just moments.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries.
A sign of unity as members of the Board of Corrections voted unanimously to appoint a new secretary. 2 weeks later, they could find themselves back at the drawing board. Alonza Giles was first appointed by Governor Mike Huckabee back in 2006 and then again by Governor Asa Hutchinson in 2022. Now there's a growing call for Giles to resign after accusations surfaced claiming that he refused to put a stop to sexual abuse that was happening at the Lord's Ranch. Among those urging that he step down, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. The governor has since released a statement on the matter, saying in part, the accusations against Alonza Giles are concerning and a distraction from his work and the work of the Board of Corrections. Giles also releasing a statement in response to the accusations, saying the efforts to force me to resign from the Board of Corrections because of these baseless allegations is yet another attack on Amendment 33 of the Arkansas Constitution. Questions spiraling in Jacksonville after an abandoned elementary school has been sitting untouched for over a decade. People there are now asking for something to be done. Some going as far to say the building takes away from the city's value. And after being hit by the March tornado last year, the building continues to be nothing more than an eyesore to those who live there. However, according to the city's mayor, Jeff Elmore, plans are in place to tear down the building. It's just a matter of going about it the right way.
The old cafeteria building had actually been abated from asbestos several years ago. So because that building is clean, we are actually able to go in now, which is what we are doing, and bringing that building down. Then the abatement will have to be done on the rest of the complex before it can be brought down.
Elmore says getting rid of the old building could help restore that side of town. Now taking you down to Saline County, decades-long efforts to consolidate 911 centers is finally seeing some traction, now required under the Arkansas Public Safety Act of 2019. On March 5th, the city of Bryant will merge its dispatch centers with Saline County. It's something officials say will have a positive impact there.
We're pleased with where it's at. We look forward to joining these forces and us joining them together, because what it's really about is our public.
As we told you before, the merge will take place next week around 10 in the morning. Tourists will be hit with a major treat as new visitor center will make its way through Little Rock. The Convention and Visitors Bureau unveiled its brand new mobile center. The tourism agency says it's a unique way of promoting the city in a versatile and engaging way. The moving billboard and city ambassador will make its way into different communities across the state and beyond, with hopes of bringing people in those areas a taste of what Little Rock has to offer. Now preparations underway for the well-anticipated Little Rock Marathon this weekend. Today's festivities kicking off with the packet pickup. That's happening as we speak at the State House and will last until 7 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow things really take off with 3 races: the Little Rock 5K, 10K, and the Little Rockers Kids Marathon. It all comes to end with the big one on Sunday. And Gabe Holdenstrom with the Downtown Partnership says it's going to be a great weekend, not just for runners, but businesses too.
Anytime we do an event of this size and scope, the restaurants see a bump, the hotels see a bump, and we just want to make sure they have a fantastic experience.
Now, a reminder that the Little Rock Marathon on Sunday has a new start time of 6 a.m. If you need additional information, you can go to littlerockmarathon.com. Also happening this weekend, the final stretch to cast an early ballot for the March 5th primary elections. If you wish to vote early, you can still do so today and Saturday. The last day to early vote is Monday, as of Election Day takes place on Tuesday. And let's get you a look at the vote tally so far. Pulaski County reporting over 12,000 votes, with Faulkner County almost at 5,000, Saline County totaling just over 6,100, and Jefferson and Garland County both coming under 5,000. And if you don't know, you can have access to election information right at your fingertips. All you have to do is pull out your phone and text VOTE to the number on your screen. That's 501-376-1111. Nikki Haley and Donald Trump, 2 people fighting to secure the GOP nomination for president, with millions expected to decide this Tuesday. Natalie Brand has more on the last-minute push for candidates to gain support from voters.
Washington, D.C. Republicans began voting in the district's GOP presidential primary, the same hotel where former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley will be trying to win over last-minute support.
What do you make of the race this year?
Well, it's like a soap opera, and I'm just waiting to see what happens.
Donald Trump has won every state that has voted so far. Haley is holding out hope that moderates will give her a boost in D.C.
Nikki is still putting her message out there, and I support her message.
And on Tuesday, when 15 states hold their primary elections.
Thank you so much, everybody!
She campaigned in Virginia Thursday, trying to make the case that she has a better chance of beating President Joe Biden in November.
You gotta ask yourself, if all these early states, if 30 to 40% of the people are not voting for him, how do you win a general election?
But Trump is leading in polls of the Super Tuesday states when more than 1/3 of the delegates needed to win the GOP nomination will be up for grabs.
I anticipate Trump landslide and him going back into office.
Trump and Biden held dueling events Thursday in Texas, about 300 miles apart along the U.S.-Mexico border.
This is a Joe Biden invasion. Could be 15 million, could be 18 million by the time he gets out of office.
Join me, or I'll join you, in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill.
A new Gallup poll out this week showed immigration as the top concern facing the U.S. among those surveyed. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington, D.C.
And another story that has grabbed attention across the country. Lawmakers in Alabama passed legislation that gives protections to clinics providing IVF services. This follows a recent ruling by the Alabama Supreme Court that gives embryos the same rights as children. That, of course, receiving mixed reactions from both sides of the argument over reproductive rights. The final bill in Alabama will head to the governor's desk next week, where it will await her signature. Inflation now taking a step in the right direction. In 2 minutes, a look at what this could mean for your wallet.
It's a cool and cloudy day across parts of central Arkansas. Sun shining elsewhere. That sunshine's going to make its way back into the metro over the next few hours. We'll track that. We'll also take a look at what your weekend forecast has in store. I think you're really going to like it. We'll talk about that and what could be a wet next week. More details when THV 11 News at noon returns.